And George, thank you. Where'd George go? There you are. Fantastic. I think I don't remember anything I was going to say. And I would have asked you not to sing that song if I had known you were going to do that. So I'm Reverend Doug, and I'm actually a licensed minister now. It officially happened 2 weeks ago in Capistrano Valley, and I'll tell you a little about it in a few moments. But I wanted to tell you first why I wanted to become a minister. And I was reflecting on this, and I noticed that when I started practitioner studies, everybody wanted to know, why do you want to become a practitioner? The teachers asked. In class, you asked each other, why do you want to become a practitioner? It was always a good question, making sure you're on the right path, right? But I noticed as you got closer to becoming a practitioner, no one asked the question anymore. And I thought, well, that's curious. Maybe we don't want to know because we'll get scared or frightened or... And the same thing happened with the minister thing. So that question is on everybody's mind, including my own. Why do I want to become a minister? And even in class, we're challenged on that question. Why do you want to become a minister? And I noticed near the end, no one was asking the question anymore. And so maybe it's too late. So I want to take a moment and tell you why I wanted to become a minister and why I'm here, because I actually haven't maybe expressed that here in Palm Springs, because I'm kind of new. But I spent a lot of years in Science of Mind. I entered as a young person. And it wasn't until like the last 6 or 7 years that I got serious in the study to move on, be a licensed practitioner and a licensed minister. And in my thinking about what moved me to take this last leap of faith and go through this last mile to get here, I decided the reason why was because I wanted to provoke people in a good way. My whole life has been about being provoked in a good way. People calling me on my stuff and making me see truth and making me want to live a full life, in Science of Mind especially. And I think I wanted to return the favor. And so, and when people would ask me, why do you want to become a minister? Sometimes I say, because I want to push buttons. I want to be in a community that's truly alive and growing and trying to live the fullest life possible. And I would like to maybe do it from the front here, if I could do a little bit, to help push buttons so people move forward on their path to discovering their most perfect self. Because that's what's happened to me. And I just think that that's the best gift that I could give back today, which is in a few words when I get a chance to speak up here. Thank you, Dr. Michael. And when I'm doing parts of the other service and in our functions and our social gatherings, if I can provoke in a good way, I'm returning a great gift that's helped me move through my life. And I'm as screwy as anybody else, or worse. And I have, the same human issues that go on in my experience as any of you all have. But in a way, the purest message that's come through over the years is the Science of Mind philosophy. So that's why I want to become a minister, is to provoke in a good way. And I hope I get to do that. I feel like in Palm Springs, we're all about provoking. There's no, we don't hold back here. So I feel like, well, I was delivered in the right and perfect place. How perfect. And then last night at Reverend Beverly's retirement party, I'm like, how will I ever, if it's expected that I could ever fill her shoes, which it's not, but, that human thing for a moment, how could I ever fill her shoes? She has, I wish she was here this morning. I was hoping she would come again on another Sunday. She has done so much to carry this community forward to where it is today. And in just a few months that I've gotten to know her deeply, I can't tell you how moved I am by her presence, and she's not here. And how could I possibly fill her shoes? I don't need to. But what an inspiration, So I can't wait for her to come back and be part of her life here in the center. So in San Juan Capistrano, at the Capistrano Valley Center for Spiritual Living, 2 weeks ago, there was a ceremony to install 4 staff ministers, and I was one of the 4. Now, why it's in San Juan Capistrano is another talk. And it's about integration and birthing and coming together and unifying. It's a great talk for some other time. And I feel like I'm part of that expression of sometimes the challenges that we have when we try and integrate or become one. Because, Science of Mind split in 1950. 1956 or something, 1954. So a long time ago, over 50 years ago, the organization split into two movements. And here we are in 2012 coming together. It's really amazing. And I've always been attuned with separation and watching what the alignment will be. I've always asked the question when I was, like in 1990, when I was a young person in science of mind, why are there two? And I always went to both different centers. But I get to see it coming together today, and my licensing is an example of the challenges that organizations go through when they try and integrate right at the last moment. Could you have done it? Could I have done it right at the last moment, which I did? So in February will be one, and so I'm licensed in San Juan Capistrano with outreach to Palm Springs. And see, so I made it complicated, which is great. It's a great expression of my being. And so the room was full like this, and it was filled with ministers. There were dozens of ministers over here. And I was in awe. And I knew some of them through my travels in Idlewild. I have Idlewild friends here. Thank you. And my friends in Palm Desert through my path through Palm Desert and here into Palm Springs. Dr. Mexing, thank you for being here. And so there were tons of ministers, dozens of them, and then congregants, the local people had come for this event, which was at 4 o'clock. And then the families and the friends were there. And Dr. Michael came down, and Paul came down, Paul. And Robert came down, Robert. Thank you. Thank you. And so my new Palm Springs family came to watch me being installed as a minister. It was really amazing. But I didn't know most of the people in the audience. And you know what it kicked up in me? My shyness. So I had a real human experience through that whole thing. I know I didn't show it, right? But it was very human. And I'm a really shy person. I know it's hard to believe. But the experience was so... it was such a high experience there to do that and be in a huge family where I didn't recognize a lot of people. It moved me through the fear, which is one of the points I want to talk about today. It moved me through the fear to just be in the present moment in that experience. And Dr. Michael did a really funny thing. He got up on stage because it was good that you put some context to why I was there. Because my classmates were there and some ministers that I knew, but most of the audience didn't know. And kind of he got up there and he proposed to me. And he made some stuff up, which was absolutely beautiful, and I've contemplated it for 2 weeks now. But basically he proposed to me. He offered me the path to Palm Springs. And I think for a moment I thought, should I say yes or no? Okay. So you have to imagine Dr. Michael, if you know him, getting up in front of a group of people and not being humorous. And he went on, I don't know all the words, I don't remember them, and I'm waiting for the video, but he said, by the power vested in me. Do you remember that moment?
By the power that I've invested
in myself. So listen. By the power that I've invested in myself. I shortened it to the power that that's vested in me. I love that. The power that's vested in me. I made this my new treatment for 2 weeks. The power that is vested in me. And I'm going to ask you all to say that in a moment together, because it hung on me in my mind. The power that's vested in me. In Science of Mind, the power is with us always. It's never been separate. It's who we are. We call it the law. It's vested in us as we come into this human experience. It never had to be given to us. It's a birthright. I see people shaking their head. That's our belief. That's our philosophy. The power of life is our birthright. We don't have to earn it. We have to uncover it. It's there always. We just have to find it if we've lost it. And we're not finding it ever outside of ourselves. We're always finding it in. So I want you to think for a moment of something you're intending in your life, something you're working on, something you're trying to manifest. And then you're going to say out loud, you're not going to say what the thing is, but you're going to say, by the power vested in me, I declare. This is what I've been doing for 2 weeks. And then if you would like to say it out loud to yourself or quiet to yourself, fill in the line of what you're intending. So you want more love, you want more abundance, you want greater health. You're going to say in a moment, by the power vested in me, I declare that I have more, or I am experiencing, or I am accepting, and whatever that is. Can we do that together? So really, we're going to do it twice. So the first time is a warm-up, but by the power vested in me, I declare love in my life. And you did yours. Let's do it again. By the power vested in me, I declare